Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I will be going through day one of the Barda Trophy. Uh, the first match was played in Perth, and it was an absolutely magical day. Uh, what I want to say up front, it doesn't matter how much analysis you would have done prior to the start of this match. You could not have predicted what would have transpired on day one of the Barda Trophy. 217 runs were scored on the day, and a massive 17 wickets would have fallen. Right? I did some analysis myself, and I could not have seen what would have transpired today. I know that I would have looked on India's form coming out of that embarrassing home series with New Zealand, and we would have looked on Australia. Australia was, in a bit of their form was a bit unknown because they would have played the last test match, I believe, in March of this year. So they would have had a long, time having not played any test cricket. But what transpired today was I could not foresee it, and the truth of the matter is, coming into this test match at Perth, over the years we would have known that Perth will offer some assistance to the bowlers, and it would be very tough for batting, you know what I mean. But I could not have predicted 17 wickets, and I think the last time so many wickets would have fallen on day one in Australia dated back to about 1951, 1952, thereabout. So that this is not something that really happened in Australia. And in all fairness to the batters, I don't think they would have done much wrong. I just think it was just tough conditions to bat, and I think both bowling units, they would have done exceptionally well. So I'm going to do a little breakdown of the day. I think the day started with India winning the toss and chose to bat. I believe that was a very brave decision from Jasprit Bumrah. I think based on the history of the ground, I think Australia would have bat about 4 times first on the pitch, and they would have won the game. So that would be a very small sample size. And prior to the game, I think rain was falling for quite a while in Perth. So I know that the pitch would have been covered, and there would be some build-up of moisture under the cover. So it was a very, very, very brave decision by Bumrah to bat first, and I think he made a good call, to be honest with you, as the day turned out. And I think the next point that I want to make, is that India came into this match away from home, down under. They chose to play 2 debutants, instead of their 2 experienced players, and I will come to that in a little from now. As those 2 decisions, I think they were very, very important, to what would have transpired today. So India, as I said, they chose to bat, and they were skittled out for 150 runs with debutant Nitish Kumar ready. He would have scored 41. He was his top scorer. And the pick of the Australian bowlers was Josh Hazlewood. He would have picked up 4 wickets for 29 runs from 13 overs. And to be honest with you, Hazlewood has been having a good year. He has, been in fine form throughout this year. in all format of the game. So after Australia, would have restricted India for 150. It was after that it was just the Bumrah show. To be honest with you, at one point Bumrah would have taken 3 wickets for no runs in 15 deliveries, and he would have dismissed uh, Steve Smith for a golden duck, and he would have sent Marnus Labuschagne fucking for a duck as well. So it was just some exceptional bowling from Jasprit Bumrah. As you know, he is a world class bowler, and it was just, the ball was just nipping around. So I was wondering if the pitch was too spicy, but when you really look on the movements of the delivery, I don't think the pitch offered that much. I just think the guys just put the ball in the good areas and the pitch did a little for them. I don't think the pitch did that much. It was just some exceptional bowling from the two teams pace bowlers, right? So Australia at the end of day one they would have slumped to 67 for 7, right? As I said, thanks to some exceptional bowling from Jasprit Bumrah. Uh, so let us go back to the decision that Bumrah would have taken at the top of the innings. As I said, it was a brave decision to bat, uh, having won the toss. Not many captains coming to Australia would have the guts to do that, right? And I think it was an exceptional decision, tough decision, and you know, making such a decision, you may not have everybody in the dressing room, with you, but sometimes you just have to make. I'm not saying that the Indian team was not in one accord. I'm just saying that making sometimes some tough decision, you may be the only one on the team who will see what you are seeing at the time, right? But that was a very tough decision, and not many captains would come to Australia and does that, right? The team selection, not many people would. I couldn't imagine, India leaving out Ashwin or Jadeja. I think one of them would have played. That's what I was thinking. But India would have gone with two debutants instead of their two, uh, experienced players. And I think those were two, very important decisions by Jasprit Bumrah, which would have paid dividend on day one. And one of the other things I want to mention is that Bumrah would have, having been the captain, he knows when to come back into the attack. And we would have seen, that paying some dividend also on day one. And I must say, credit must go to Australia bowling attack, especially, Mitchell Starc and Laud at the top. I think they were exceptional. They were bowling some really good deliveries at the top, right? So that is what would have transpired on day one. It was still can't really understand what would have transpired. It just caught everyone by surprise. I just think that Bumrah's bowling was just of the highest class, of fast bowling. To be honest with you, it's the best you will see in the world, And we must not forget that India is coming off of a bad series. They were humiliated at home by New Zealand, right? And to respond in this way is just magical, You and I was just thinking that sometime, I can imagine Bumrah in the having, won the toss, chose to bat, kittled out for 150. I just imagine what was going through his mind in the dressing room at that time, coming, out to bowl. But I think he responded really well with ball in hand. It was absolutely world class the way he came out and put pressure on the Australian batters. And to be honest with you, when Bumrah was bowling, it seems like every ball, was an event. It was just magical fast bowling, to be honest. Just of the highest quality, So this is where I will leave it for today. Please remember to, to subscribe to the channel and just stay tuned as I will be, be going through the other days. Just stay tuned for that, and please remember to just share the video with your friends and families, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.